down. Sound off, so that's perfect. Change this to on. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. That. And, okay. Let's be mixing around. Hello, hello, welcome in everybody. How are you? Welcome in everybody. I'm just getting started mixing up my seed starting mixture here with a little bit of water so we can plant some seeds. Doing this indoors today. Hi Teresa, welcome in. How are you? I know a lot of the country's going through a heat wave right now. Is everybody staying cool? We are stupid hot per our usual here in Florida, so I figured I would do my seed starting inside. Hopefully I don't make too big of a mess. I've got lots of goodies planned for the fall garden. So I'm excited to get everything started. Is everybody staying cool in this crazy heat? Okay. Guess that's good. I don't know. Put a whole cup of water into that mix, so I feel like it's damp. Let's see. This is what I am using for my seed starting. It is Back to Roots Organic 3-in-1 seed starting mix. I haven't used this before. I do use other Back to the Roots products. But I haven't used their seed starting mix yet, so this will be my first time. We'll see how we like it. So far I like it. It looks pretty good. There's still like some wood pieces in here and stuff, which, you know, I'd prefer not to have. All right, bye Teresa, thanks for popping in. But there's a good amount of like perlite in here, and it's fairly fluffy feeling, so Yep.
Again?
I'm live. You're fine, just I'm live.
Okay.
That's code for watch your mouth.
Well, I'm glad the only word I said was again.
And I think, alright, let me turn it this way. I think what we're gonna try to do is just kind of dump the soil into these. And it's okay if it spills out below because I've got everything in a tray. So what I'm doing, obviously, if you can't tell, we have been saving toilet paper, paper towel rolls, all this stuff for a while. Paper towel rolls I just cut down to size. And I was trying to think of a way to inexpensively seed start without really buying too much. I had a couple of these disposable foil pans on top of the fridge that I had bought like a while back for something or other, and then we ended up not needing to use them. And we've been saving the paper towel and toilet paper rolls for a while now, and I was like, you know, I want to do a seed starting thing for people who maybe they don't have a whole lot of money or a budget or whatever, and kind of show, you know, you can do this with minimal supplies. And my plan is to like fill all of these, seed start them, and then literally take this whole tube out and plant the whole tube. So the cardboard itself is biodegradable, of course. So that's my plan. I figured I would try it and we'll see how it goes. I have another bag of soil if I need, so, you know, if we need to mix up more, that's totally fine. I got a good amount left in that bag too. And I really am fine if it spills out below. So I am so excited. If you're not from Florida, we can pretty much garden here year round where I live. I'm in North Florida. And fall is another warm weather season for us. So right now we are in summer. That is our hot season. There are some very specific things that do well in Florida in hot season. So I'm excited to go into another warm season again because we'll be able to replant another round of things like peppers, tomatoes, all that good stuff again. So I do have a good variety of like peppers and tomatoes and all that stuff planted out in the yard, but these are going to be some different varieties. Some of these I tried earlier when I first started gardening. Way back in like, I don't know, it was probably still winter then, or maybe early spring. And sadly, some of these varieties did not survive, and I was really excited for them. So I'm happy to have another chance at growing them again. I really, really wanted to grow Cherokee purple tomatoes, and they didn't do well the first time around. So I'm excited to have another go at them. I'm also going to plant some mortgage lifter tomatoes. Those ones can get like up to 2 pounds each fruit, which is crazy. So I'm excited just to see if I can do that. I also have jelly bean tomatoes, which I did try before, and again, those did not succeed either, so I'm excited to have another shot at them. And then I have some new varieties that I haven't tried growing yet, and I'm excited for, like Dr. Witchy's, which is a yellow tomato. If you watch gardening channels, or farming channels like Roots and Refuge is a channel that I really love, and her name is Jess, and she grows Dr. Witchy's tomatoes, and she loves them. They are one of her favorites. So I'm excited to give them a try and grow something that's like a different. Wow, we got some really big soil clumps in here that are difficult to break up. So I'm excited to grow some of those. And I'll go through everything that I'm planting as I do it. I'm gonna do some more peppers. I've of course got lots of peppers going right now outside from our spring season that are now like finally getting closer to harvest stage. So hopefully they'll hold up okay in this summer heat. But I'm gonna plant some new varieties for fall. I'm gonna grow a lilac bell pepper, which I'm super excited about because purple peppers, yay. When we cook our meals, we try really hard to incorporate a lot of veggies and as many colors as we can into our meals. So being able to grow foods of different colors, because you know that provides different vitamins and minerals and things like that, sounds amazing to me. You know, I always say you should try to eat the color of the rainbow every day, and well, that's what we're gonna try to do. Eat the color of the rainbow every day, so we're gonna plant the color of the rainbow. Yeah, I'll mix up another batch of this to get the rest of these filled up. I have planned out what I'm going to plant. I have not planned out how many of which kind and all that, so I'm just gonna go with my gut. Bowl up again with my soil. Hopefully not dump it all over the floor. Trying to do this inside and be a little bit neater, but I am not usually a neat girl when it comes to projects. I am a messy girl. And then typically go back and clean up my messes after the fact. So we'll see how clean I can keep it. Some more water. So I'm just like pre-moistening my soil as pot them. Just doing like a cup of water inside this big bowl of soil and mixing it around. I can say, as I'm working with this and looking through this, I don't love this as a seed starting mix. I do like Back to the Roots products generally. This to me, I would probably just continue using their raised bed garden soil and adding a little extra perlite in, which is what I've been doing in my raised beds anyways, and I would probably just use that next time for my seed starting mix, rather than paying the premium to get seed starting mix. Because as I said, it really does have some wood pieces and stuff in it, which seed starting mix shouldn't have. Should be super light and fluffy, and it is fluffy for the most part. Good drainage. I think it'll be fine from that standpoint. And they also put gypsum in their seed starting mix, which is supposed to be good for calcium needs. So I don't know if starting your seeds with a mix that has gypsum in it helps to prevent like blossom end rot later on. I don't know. Because blossom end rot, I think, is usually because of a calcium deficiency. At least I think I'm remembering that correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, now we're going to fill up some more of these. Even breakable, or is that a giant wood chunk? That's a giant wood chunk, y'all. Like, seed starting mix should not have these in it. This is why we pay the premium for seed starting mix. It should be ideal to start your seeds in. Baby seeds are not going to be able to push up through that. Other things I'm planting some green tomatillos so we can make like our own salsa verde. Another like decent chunk of mulchy kind of stuff. I am going to also start some catnip and lavender. It's not time for those outside here in Florida, but I can start them inside. And my daughter is temporarily staying with us, and she'll be moving back to Tennessee shortly, and she loves lavender, and I'm not a fan of lavender at all. I don't like the way it smells. I know I'm weird. I just can't help it. But she loves it, so I'm going to start some lavender for her, and then she can take that with her when she goes. And she also has her kitty cat with her, who has been sneaking out to the kitchen and trying to eat our scallions that we have growing by the sink. So I'm planting some catnip, both for us and for the kitty cat. And she can take that with her when she goes too. But for us, I'm told that catnip actually makes a fantastic bug repellent. Has anyone else ever heard that before? I have heard literally if you like take a handful of the fresh leaves off the plant and just like rub them on you, that it's more effective than like DEET bug sprays, which y'all, if I showed you like my arms, mostly my legs are awful right now, like no joke. It looks like I have chicken pox on my legs from all the bug bites. So, and I've been getting bit even through my clothes and wearing bug spray, which, I mean, when I say Florida's a whole different beast, I really do mean it. Like, I swear, like, our fleas just laugh at flea prevention. Our mosquitoes, I swear they would just pick up the can of, like, off and toss it and laugh at us while they continue munching on us. It's ridiculous. So if I can grow something natural that I could just like rub on me, that would be amazing. All right, let's see. And then what I might end up doing for tagging them, because I was wondering about that. I'm like, I don't want to put tape on any of these to write plant names on them. Because the tape does not disintegrate, does not biodegrade well. I felt like writing on here, even with a permanent marker, I probably still wouldn't be able to see it over time. That's gonna go away. So I think I'm gonna do like my old school method of like using popsicle sticks and writing it on there and then just sticking the popsicle sticks in there. That to me sounds good. And I don't consider this extra soil that ended up in here around these a waste, because I think that's actually going to help the plants. I'm going to put these outside on my lanai. I know some people have been starting them inside under seed, with like their seed growing kits and their little UV lights and stuff. I don't have any of that stuff yet. I do plan on getting some for when I do my winter seeds, but I think these might do okay on my lanai. If they end up not, I can always bring them in and buy a grow light and try that. But I think some shaded sun on the lanai will actually be good for them. But we'll see. I guess we won't know until we try, right? Okay, so got that ready. Put that towards the back. Now, yeah, I made a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. This can just be swept right off into the bowl when I'm done here. I'm sure we'll end up getting more soil all over the place. Just tidy up a little bit. Okay. Oh no. Alright, you saw that? I should have just left the soil where it was for now, but that's okay. That's what vacuums are made for. All right, so this year I have my seeds for fall from a few different places. Initially, when I had a very, very limited budget, I did pick up some seeds from Dollar Tree. Their seed prices are absolutely fantastic. You can generally get 3 packets of these for $1.50. So I do have some of those yet that I'm going to plant. I have had 0 issues with Dollar Tree seeds. They germinate for me just fine. They grow just fine. Sometimes what you'll notice is a smaller quantity of seeds, but for just a regular backyard gardener, that is totally fine with me. I don't need a whole bunch of seeds because I'm only going to plant, a couple of each variety. And for all the ones that I plant, like I'm going to seed save for future seasons. So I don't need to keep, buying these over and over. Of course, if I want to try a different variety, I will. But yeah, so hot tip for you, like when early spring rolls around and gardening stuff is in the store, go to your Dollar Tree and get seeds because they're stupid cheap, and that way it's not such like a high price if something fails or doesn't do really well. You spent what, 50 cents? Like, whoop, big deal. We did pick a few varieties up at like big box stores. So some of the tomatoes I'm planting, these were probably from Home Depot. And honestly, when I grew these earlier this year, I did not have success with these. And I had no problems with my Dollar Tree seeds. So let that be a lesson to you. There is also a brand that I buy off of Amazon. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Kviter, and I've grown some of their seeds before and had really good success. So I got my banana peppers and my San Marzano tomato seeds from them this year. And then I am trying a new company called Organo Republic. They were established in 2017. I actually got this beautiful, like, nice little box with tons of seeds in it, and I ordered some additional packs as well, so I have them stored. I've got a bunch of seeds, and I'm super excited about that. I like the box that it came in, and then they also sent like some nice little extras with each of my seed packets came with this nice little envelope of like mini garden tools. And I'm actually going to use some of those today because they have like a nice little seed dauber and tweezers and things like that that you can use. So let's see what all is in here. Yeah, so it's like tiny little shears that you could use. I think this is like a weeding fork. This must be to like help scoop out seedlings. This is like the nice little seed dauber tool, so it'll put like a little dot in where you can put your seeds, little tweezers, and then these little pruning shears, I guess. Let's see, how do these work? Oh, okay, that's it. So you just pinch them like that. I mean, I have pruning shears, so I'm good, but that's a nice little bonus that comes with like their seed kits. And then I got like a box package, and it came with some other things as well. So I got like a ball cap and stuff like that. I have my marker. Let me just grab some popsicle sticks so that we can label what we're planting, and then we'll get started and go from there. Be right back. Actually, I gotta run outside and grab them. have to break these in half. I don't want to forget what I planted and which ones they are, because that might be problematic for later. Okay. How easily can I break a popsicle stick? Kind of a weakling these days. Alright, that's not too bad. Oops. That one already had a label on it that just says tomato. I guess I could still use that and just write the variety on the other side. What do we want to plant first? I guess let's do our tomatoes first, right? Because that's my big thing. And then we're going to separate half these. Hey! No thank you on the loud voice. No. Shh. Inside. Please hold. I think that's your equipment.
Shut up!
You are being a noisy boy. Okay. Alright, so our tomatoes. I think we'll do.
This poor thing got beat.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so Cherokee. Hush. I think I'm going to put a couple seeds in each little tube and plant a couple tubes of each variety. But I might do a couple extra for my Cherokee Purple because, hey, refractor, because I was really excited for the Cherokee Purple ones to grow before, and I still haven't gotten to grow any of them, so I might plant extra of them just to make sure that we actually have some that survive. Some of this I plan for, like I said, I know the varieties I'm growing, just don't really know how many of each variety, which is fine. I actually had some seeds that spilled out of their envelopes and are in the bottom of one of my boxes. And I talked about when my spring and summer crops are done, that I might just scatter them in one of my beds and see what happens. A little bit of chaos gardening. So let's do our, here's our little seed dauber, so we'll do that. So I am planting my fall seeds. It'll be a variety of peppers and tomatoes, along with some beans and some herbs. I live in Florida, and it is time for us to be planting our fall seeds that we will transplant out in August. So, like I said, my spring plants are still going strong. My summer plants are doing great, but it is time to start our fall plants. We actually just started harvesting our spring tomatoes, believe it or not. Mine, I guess, were late bloomers. I don't know. I'm just happy we're getting something off them now. It's my first year growing food too, so you don't get everything right. I don't like the initial soil that I planted in. I got different soil as I went along, so I think that slowed them. We also had all different kinds of like pests and things like that we dealt with, and I was really frustrated about that and hard on myself at first. And then I remembered, every gardening video that I watched from even people that like do this professionally, like they also deal with those same things. So it's okay to have some failure and to learn and grow from that. But initially it was very hard. Like when I planted like these 3 tomato types and didn't actually get anything from them, like that was a real big bummer. But I also grew some other stuff really, really well. So now we're gonna plant our mortgage lifter tomatoes. These are like the ones that grow like up to 2-pound fruits. So that should be interesting. So mortgage. That's as much as I can fit on here, but that'll be enough to remind me of what I planted. And I think I'm just gonna do 2 things of these for now. After I get everything planted, if I have a bunch of spaces, of course I will plant extra seeds as insurance. And if I end up not needing them, I can always gift them. I gave away one of my first gardening experiments that I did before I had like any equipment. The only thing I had was like a little half bag of potting soil left over, and I had 2 slices of a tomato left over that I had eaten for lunch. And I was like, you know what? I'm literally gonna throw these in containers and see if anything happens. And I had over 50 viable tomato plants from that grew. I gave away so many. So that was a nice thing to be able, that made me feel really good that I could bless some other people with some of that. So if I end up with extra seedlings, I'm happy to share them. All right, next I think we'll do our jelly bean tomatoes. Let's get a name tag for them. Let me just get rid of this so I can see the comment screen. Okay. Guess I'll have to order myself some new popsicle sticks. I like these. They're cheap. They do the job. I have some of them in my garden. I have like some of those nice little actual garden tags too, but you don't need them, Sometimes you just use what you have and you make it work. Oh, okay. These are pelleted seeds. I was like, whoa, these look different. Maybe I didn't plant these before because I don't remember looking at these. Check these out. They're like little pelleted seeds. I don't know what that means. What do they do to these to get that coating on them? I'll have to look that up. Okay, jelly bean is a hybrid, so these I will not seed save from. I do keep my seed packages even when they're empty until after I harvest that thing. That way I can kind of like look back and reference them. Also, I know, if maybe a certain lot didn't germinate or whatever, I can kind of keep track of that. All right, I think we'll do our San Marzano tomatoes next. I do plan on planting a lot of tomatoes for our fall garden with the intention to actually be canning and preserving these and making, sauces. So I did pick a couple paste tomatoes like San Marzanos and Romas on purpose so I can make some sauces. I also have like, a wide variety of other tomato kinds so that we can make like some good salsas. Alex really likes salsa, so. Alright, so this is San Marzano. I absolutely love the flavor of San Marzanos. So, like, a lot of times when I buy whole or crushed tomatoes, like, if I can find San Marzanos, that's what I buy. Now, as long as I can get something to grow, I'll be able to can and make my own. I've never canned before, so that'll be a first for me this year too, but you know, we're growing food. I have finally started a sourdough starter. I was late to the party. I did not do that during COVID. I was busy working during COVID because healthcare never sleeps, especially during a public health crisis. So I did not get into the sourdough that first big wave of our generation who was doing it, but I have it started now. I'm learning all the homesteading skills, learning how to grow food, I'm learning how to preserve food, learning how to make my own breads. Okay. So, a couple of those, and a couple of those. Alright. Tuck these in. Need a better place to put this so it won't fall over the floor. Alright, next we'll do our aromas and our Dr. Witchies. How do I spell this? W-Y-C-H-E. Now I have a song stuck in my head from when I was little. Mom used to like to sing that song about the witch doctor. Ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bing. Ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bing. Anybody else know that, or is it just me? Alright, so just make sure we got the right variety here for what I'm planting. Where's my little... There it is. Okay. It's nice. I was using literally like a kebab stick or a popsicle stick before I had this nice little seed dauber. And you know what? It did the... Okay, these open on the bottom. Alright. Did the trick just fine, but I suppose it's nice to actually have tools, I guess. I am really hoping that I like this company's seeds, the Organo Republic. I almost feel like I need like a letter opener for these. Well, these cut. Yay. Alright, let's take a look at these seeds. Okay. Oops. That's one there that I dropped, so let's get that one in there. And put a couple in here. Okay. Alright. I don't know what the best way to open those is. Because now I'm going to have to store all of these upside down in the container so they don't fall out. Oh, and I see this one's printed the right way. I don't know. And last we are doing our aromas. Well, not last, but for the last tomato. This is a lot of tomato plants, y'all. I guess it's not if they don't all produce them. I have Everglades tomatoes growing right now, and I'm so happy that they finally germinated. I planted Everglades seeds. Oops, I forgot to put my little thingy in. I planted Everglades seeds like 3 different times, and I was ready to call it quits, thinking that like the package I had, that the seeds were just not viable. And then I finally sprouted too. It's like, woohoo! I never thought I would have such trouble growing something, getting something to germinate that grows naturally here in Florida. But I'm told once you get them going, they are quite prolific and will reseed themselves year after year. So, all right, so those are tomatoes. Let's take a drink and then we'll get started on our next one. On my peppers. All right. So the Jupiter peppers, these are one that I did try to grow earlier in spring and did not have success with. So I'm going to give those a whirl again. The other 3 are new for me. So we're going to do cayenne peppers, a lilac bell sweet pepper, and I want to try growing sweet banana peppers. So those are the other ones that we're going to start. Let me get some tags made up. Sorry, the landscaping guys are doing their weed eating and their leaf blowing. So if you hear the background buzzing, that's what that is. All right, so banana peppers, banana. So I'm told in some areas that our fall season, a lot of people's tomatoes actually do better even than their spring tomatoes. So we'll see. That'd be cool. I know the challenge is like our hot period, and right now they're going to go through the hottest period in the beginning. But then as the fruits are getting bigger and riper, it's going to be cooler weather, which is actually a little bit better for them. And I say cooler in comparison to like our summer temps. It's not cool or cold by any means. But a big problem in Florida and why we can't grow so many tomatoes during the summer season typically is because between the heat and the humidity, the torrential downpours during our wet season, these all cause things, fungus is higher, pests are higher. Tomato splitting is more likely, all that stuff. So as long as we can keep, the pests and the fungus from taking hold early in the season, these should do great growing, which is exciting. Then we're going to do lilac bell peppers. Do our cayenne. These are not for me, definitely for Alex and Alex's family. And perhaps if I get into, I don't know. We'll see if I can tolerate like making hot sauces and stuff. I'd love to be able to do that for him. I'm just not sure. Obviously I wear gloves and goggles and all that stuff, but my skin is very sensitive, as well are my eyes. And then lastly, Jupiter peppers. Right now I have a couple bell pepper plants that are doing fantastic outside. One is Big Bertha, which is a large green fruit. It will eventually ripen to red as well, but it's known as like a giant green bell pepper. And I also have a red bell pepper plant. Those both have peppers growing on them. We've got jalapenos, we've got habaneros. I think all of the jalapeno plants currently have peppers on them. The habanero, I don't think they've started yet, but they all look fantastic. All right, so first up, banana. Make sure I plant the right seeds in the right container. Now they're like right outside my window. Banana. These are really sticky. Hard to get open, but the good news is these ones actually kind of reseal themselves after you open them because of that super stickiness. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. That was some work to get in there. Okay. So pop a couple of these in there. And a couple of these in there. Okay, next we're gonna do our lilac bell peppers. Yeah, see, these ones are upside down too, so some got printed one way, some got printed the other way. It's fine. These seeds are a little bigger. I wonder if these will be like a bigger pepper. Alright, there is a piece of mulch right there. Yeah, look at that, guys. It's crazy. Obviously, we don't want to plant right there on that, so. Okay. One's done. Next up, we will do our cayenne peppers. Got my dog on the floor next to me, just snoring away. It's my right-hand man. Always got to be close to Mama, keeping an eye on me. Oh, I forgot to put my little, I need to put the hose to grow the seeds. Okay. And lastly, for the peppers, we're gonna do our Jupiter peppers. I have so many varieties planted that if for some reason something doesn't grow, it's really not that big of a deal, but I'd like for everything to sprout. I really, really want those Cherokee purple tomatoes to grow, so that's why I planted extra. All right, next We've got those. Where is, oh, there's the lavender. Okay. I'm gonna do our tomatillos next. I don't know what to expect from these. I've never grown tomatillos before. Let's see, how big do these get? Does it say? Small green fruit, yeah. There's an online growing guide. It doesn't really say. It says to space them 18 to 24 inches apart, quarter-inch depth, 80-day harvest. I don't know. Soak seeds in warm water for 6 to 12 hours. Well, I'm going to try just dumping them in here and see what happens. And I guess if nothing sprouts, we'll do another round where we soak the seeds first. I do soak some of my seeds, like when I planted red beans and black beans from the grocery store, like just from like a grocery store bag of beans. You can do that. I did an overnight soak, 12 hours for those. All right, so these, look at these, super tiny. Might actually use the tweezers for these ones. Did I? I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't even make my tags yet. All right, let's put these back in here. I am going to put the variety on the back because I do have another kind of tomatillo as well. I don't think I'm going to plant it this season, but just in case I do, I want to be able to know. These are the green ones. All right, let's do these here. These are super tiny, so we barely want a dent. I just picked that package up upside down. See, this is why I don't like when they print it on the wrong side. But good news is I can see the seeds. Alright. 2 of these. Okay. I'm going to plant all 3 of these in here. Okay. So we got that. And so let me see if I can get the rest of these seeds and put them back in the bag. Oh, there's some on my pants. This is like playing the game of operations with these tweezers. Luckily, I don't get electrocuted if I miss. Okay, yeah. These tweezers are actually quite handy. I will say the way that they designed these. They've got nice little grippies on the inside, and they are picking up these small pinprick sized seeds with no problem. I could have swept these off the table and into here, but I also would have gotten a lot of this dirt that's here. And the last thing I want is to put dirt in with these seeds because I don't want them germinating in the bag and then not being any good for when I want to plant these next. Because yes, I will be using my seeds from year to year. No seeds do not expire. As long as you store them properly, your seeds can last many, many years. Sometimes germination rates go down if you've had them many, many years, but you just plant extras to allow for that. But it's not like, oh, I can't plant these seeds because they were packaged for 2025 and it's 2026 now. Like, you absolutely can. Alright, that's the tomatillos. Next, I think we'll do some dill. I realized in my herb garden that I didn't have any dill planted. I was like, well, we need to remedy that because if I'm gonna make pickles, we're gonna want some dill for that. I do have a bunch of other herbs going, but no dill. And when the weather gets cooler and it's time to grow the seeds, I also want to start a medicinal herb garden. What I have right now is a culinary herb garden, so a lot of herbs you would use in cooking. But I'm also interested in, yep, they do have a faint dill smell. So these are dill seeds. Those are kind of cool looking, huh? But I also want to do like a medicinal herb garden, you know, just when we're feeling under the weather, or have aches and pains or things like that. It would be nice to have something in addition to Western medicine to reach for. I also want a whole mint bed. I want a whole basil bed with different kinds of mints, different kinds of basils. A lot of those do have a lot of really good health benefits as well. So one more. Alright, flip these just so I can work on this side a little easier. I'm getting some muscle cramping and tension just from sitting up, but we're almost done here. Now, do I have? I do have one there. Okay, I couldn't tell. This must have been off a paper towel roll, and I cut that one a little bit lower, and it was just covered by dirt, so I wasn't sure if there was one planted there or not, but there is. All right, we'll do some fennel. I love using fennel, but our local Walmart, where we do our grocery delivery from, does not carry it. So we have to get it from Publix, and we don't often shop at Publix, so then it's like, you know, a stop that we have to make that we wouldn't normally make. And I was like, let me just grow some. And at least during the season for it, I won't have to be doing that. And maybe I can grow enough that like I can preserve some, like freeze some. It is really great in what do I really like to use? I love to roast fennel. If you've never had roasted fennel, it's delicious. I will roast fennel along with some other veggies in the oven. I will also put it into this soup, this one soup that I make. It's really good in there. It's got like sausage and tortellini, and I gotta do my little holes. Sausage, tortellini, some tomatoes, and I love putting fennel in that one. It's so good. Those ones a little deeper because these were some fairly big seeds in comparison to some of the others. Just gonna put a little extra bit of dirt on that one. Bury them a little further. Okay. Then we're gonna do some Italian basil. I do have Genovese basil growing out there. This is like Italian large leaf basil. So there's a lot of different basils that I want to grow. I really want to grow purple basil. sure. So this is Italian large. And like same with mint, I've only tried to plant spearmint so far, and I have not had luck germinating it. It dies for me every time. Now, my understanding is once you get it going, like you can never get rid of it, but getting it going is actually quite tricky for me. But I would like to grow a bunch of different mints. I would like to grow, some lemon mint, some chocolate mint, peppermint, spearmint. Did I say orange mint? There's just apple mint. I want to grow that too. So many different varieties. It's crazy. So I'd like to have a whole bed for that. And then whenever I do my basil bed, I'm sure I will plant extras of these because I've never had too much basil. As a matter of fact, most of the time when I plant basil, it's not enough, and I'm afraid to harvest enough for pesto because I don't want to kill the whole plant. So having extra basil plants so that I can just keep trimming from the top for all my recipes would be amazing. I don't know how many seeds I got in that one, at least 2, possibly more. They're tiny. If you've never seen basil seeds, super tiny. Okay. Beans, but I think I'm actually going to just direct sow some of these into my garden outside. I have some space in one of my raised beds, so I'm going to tuck those into there. The other things I need to plant for my daughter are the English lavender and the catnip, so we'll get those going. And then we'll go back and plant extras of anything that we really, really want extras on. I'm probably going to plant 3 trays of catnip because I want some to leave here as well for pest prevention. So we will do 3 of the catnip. Do 2 of these lavender. I really don't like the smell of lavender. I've never found it to be calming. For whatever reason, I don't know, I don't like the smell of it. I hate the smell. It kind of makes me a little annoyed, to be honest. I've never found it to be relaxing. I wish I liked it, but I just do not. But my daughter loves it, so. Oh my goodness, these seeds are so tiny. I thought the tomatillo seeds were tiny, but these are even tinier. Can you see just how small that is? Wow. I'm gonna use the tweezers for these. All right, which ones do I have? Okay, oh, this is the catnip. Okay, so let's make sure we're putting it into the right one. I actually can't even see if anything got in there, so. You know what, I'm gonna overfill these because it's literally, I cannot even see if they're going in. They're that tiny. Maybe. Okay, there. I know I at least got a couple in there. Alright, let's put one more in there just because. I'm gonna put one more in that back one, or at least, I don't know, I say one more, but it's probably like 3 more. Wow, I did not expect those to be just that small. That's wild. Like somebody put a dot with a pen. That's how big they are. All right, now the lavender. Yeah, so like I said, I really didn't plan out how many of each one I was going to plant. This is just how many tubes I could fit inside here, and I was like, great, that's how many seeds I'll start. It'll be fine. I have all the varieties of everything I want, so, and I've got multiples, so hopefully we have good success. Oh, these are like equally as small. No, these are actually slightly bigger. So that's the lavender. Okay. I was just curious if they smelled like anything. Like the dill ones did actually smell faintly of dill, so. That's been a really interesting and unexpected part of growing things from like seed and scratch and all that stuff. How many different things smell, like just by their seeds or even their tiny seedlings. Like I planted, I forget which variety of yellow squash it was, because I have 2 going. I have a straight neck and I have a crook neck yellow squash. And the one, the leaves literally smell like corn chips to me. Kind of reminds me of no, stockfish, not weed. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, things like that. But yeah, some of the yellow squash smelled like Fritos. And then what else was I surprised by? Oh, that my cantaloupe seedlings smell like the seedlings themselves, the leaves smell like cantaloupe. Tomato leaves, obviously, like they smell like tomatoes. That one we knew. And even like my tiny little herb seedlings that are coming up in the garden, like the rosemary looks nothing like an actual rosemary plant yet. It still doesn't even have like the rosemary leaves, but you rub that little seedling and it smells like rosemary. Same thing with like all the other ones, like the tiny thyme seedlings smell like thyme, the basil smells like basil. So I didn't expect that, I guess, right away, but I think it's pretty cool. All right, so let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 of these that are unplanted that we could stick things in. However, I don't have any more markers. I've got one little half thing. So what I might try to do, I could try to just like write them on the outside of here and see if that'll work. I have a feeling once I mean, it's a permanent marker, but I still have a feeling once I water these, that's gonna kind of disappear. I definitely have not heard that. I don't have to fertilize these. These come with food already in them. So they will not get fertilized until they actually get transplanted in like 6 weeks. Something like that. All right, let's see what we want to grow. All right, I'm not going to plant more of that. I'm going to plant more of that. I got everything planted I wanted. Now I can go back and do extras of some things.
Yay.
Yep.
Extras.
Extras. I'm going to plant an extra of the lavender bell peppers just because I really want to get to grow a lavender bell pepper. That's wild to me.
It's just that Miss
Yep.
on you.
Yep, he didn't even move when they were out here like leaf blowing. Yeah, so I'm not real happy with this seed starting mix. I would not spend the money to buy it again. What I would do is just do the raised bed soil and add extra perlite like we've been doing, because I've been finding chunks, and that should not be in seed starting mix. It should be very, very light and fluffy with no chunks in it, because that's going to impede seeds from germinating. So. Okay, let's see. I guess maybe we'll do more of the Romas and San Marzanos, because those would be for sauce, so making sure we have those. And maybe the Dr. Witchy's yellow, just because I'm really excited to try those. And, ooh, see, some of these are upside down, and it annoys me. I'm, like, losing seeds. Like, they, from the same company. Yeah, I know. It's fun. Alright. So, where are my other Dr. Witchies? What I might do is just try to put them in the middle. Those, I don't know. Can I write them here? Dr. W. That's what that means. Dr. W. Tom. So we'll plant a couple more of those. Only because I've learned not every seed germinates. Even among the ones that do germinate, not everyone makes it to seedling transplant stage. Even the ones that do among those, some get diseases and die out. Some don't produce tomatoes. So, I guess having extra of the ones that we really, really, really want to make happen is a good thing. Okay, so we'll plant some more of those. And we'll do some San Marzanos. Seeds right here that are stuck to the adhesive, so I can peel those off and use them. Oh, there we go. Two more. Get in the hole, man. There we go. Sure, like once I learn what everything actually looks like as it grows, it'll be easier. Like most tomato plants kind of look similar, but I will say like my Everglades tomato seedlings look nothing like my other tomato seedlings. So, you know, there are some differences. Not every tomato plant all looks the same. And I'm not worried about having extra seedlings or extra produce or whatever. I am sure somebody can use it. There is a food bank right down the street that I'm sure would happily accept fresh produce. So, all right. Nope, I've got one little container left. Let's see. Let's do one more of the mortgage lifter. Just because it'd be cool to grow a 2-pound tomato. Okay. Alright, so we've got however many seeds that is, and with each one we've got at least 2 seeds in each one, so double that, and we've got our amount of plants that we planted. And we shall see how that grows. Alright, well, I'm going to get these watered in. And I'm going to put these outside on the lanai so that they can get some sunshine and warmth, because we keep it quite chilly in here on purpose so that I do okay, since I don't tolerate heat well at all. And thanks so much for everybody that tuned in, for commenting, for asking questions, especially since it was a surprise stream. Everybody that's watching later, I know that, you know, you can watch anybody and do anything with your free time, so I appreciate everybody who stopped in to watch. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them in once this posts live on YouTube for anybody that's watching back, and I will check in there and happily answer any questions anybody has. But don't forget to tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have shorts that air at 7 p.m. and then I typically go live Sunday evening at 7 p.m. as well. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.